Thanks for your team now.
Tell her I said that. Next time you talk to her, tell her I asked that. I don't know either. That's a huge deal. We'll call our meeting to order with pledge allegiance to the flag. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. While standing, I was going to ask for about 15 seconds of remembrance for former President Carter. Good. Roll call. Robert May is here. Michael Fritz is here. Greg Zawalin is here. Allison is here. Derek Rhodes is here. David Eggert's here. Steve Gobble's here. Corey Zana, who is not here. Absent. Pamela is here. Amanda is here. The Reverend's here. Warren's here. Solicitor is here. Council minutes. Before you have our minutes from our borough meeting December 19, 2024, are there any additions, corrections, or revisions? Can the minutes be accepted as presented?
So moved.
Second. Motion been moved, second, to accept the borough minutes as presented. All those in favor, please signify by saying aye. Aye. All opposed. Motion passes. Approval and payment of bills. So before you see for payment of bills from the general fund, we have $16,427.21. As of 12/31/24. Well, is there? That's out of the general fund. And then and we'll combine that also to approve consolidated payment of bills as of January 8th, which will be out of the general fund, $68,244.02. The sewer fund has $85, and that will be it.
So moved.
Second.
Motion been moved and seconded to pay the bills as of 12/31/24 and 01/08/2025. All those in favor, please signify by saying aye. All opposed, motion passes. Approval of treasurer's report. What we're looking for is the fund balances of December 31st, 2024. Our general fund had $381,863.40. Liquid fuels had $126,053.94. Fire tax fund had $5,780.53. EMS tax fund had $1,428.81. Sewer fund had $242,293.73. Reserve account, $199,194.19. Is there a motion to accept and file for audit the consolidated treasurer's report?
So moved.
Second.
Motion been moved and seconded. All those in favor, please signify by saying aye. All opposed, motion passes. Public comment, none off the internet, no one here at the meeting. We'll move forward to consultants report. Borough engineer on deck.
All right, initially, when we met Wednesday, because of the storm, Tuesday, yes, because of the storm, we thought we had no gas.
Okay,
Anywhere close.
Because UGI thought we had no gas.
Correct. So they went to the source and UGI said they had no gas in Prospect Street. So we tasked Amanda. Amanda found out next door, and thank you, Rhoda, it's ACROLAS, not AG, right? But when I hear on the phone, you know, AG and AG sort of. But they have gas, and they have gas, Amanda, all the way to the
It's all the
rear.
way to that rear building, they have gas lines.
to the rear building, meaning
The one
Michael's
behind
old
it,
building?
Michael's old building has gas lines.
Oh,
So
They
they
have
have
gas.
gas.
Yeah.
So
but are those private lines coming off the main? I mean, can we tap off one of those lines?
I don't think we can tap off the service line.
But there is there should be a line out in the street.
Correct, it's closer than we thought, so, but we still have to deal with contacting UGI and say, yes, you have a main in Prospect, and Derek was going to dig in the street conveniently, to do a PO1 call with a dig, that we want to dig, and, well, we want to dig at our front entrance, so it is legitimate,
Flagpole too.
and put the PO1 call in.
Yeah.
And then that way we get it marked out. So that was our plan, because we do want the flagpole.
So once you convince UGI that we do actually have access out at the street, what are we gonna ask them for?
The forms that I had sent a couple months ago could now be completed.
Okay,
The other thing is gathering the data for the usage, the electric usage. Now, what we were discussing on Tuesday is that we think that they heated this whole building. They just put everything like at 72 degrees and everybody was comfy to work.
no zone heating.
No real zone.
Yeah.
Everything was just on. That's not gonna be reality for how St. Lawrence is going to heat this building and these
It's already
spaces.
programmed.
Right, so that may be miscued numbers, but it's conservative for our office to generate a count for the BTU and the kilowatt and a generator size. The other thing is, let's also take a step back because you have $50,000 of a grant, the more grant. And that is for your energy audit and then energy conservation measures. So during that time, we can also assess at no cost to the borough under this grant, the efficiency of the models of your heat pumps and then make recommendations. Look at the installation of the building, zone more spaces. Before the meeting, Allison said this space is tied to the lobby and the
Reception.
reception area.
As part of your investigation, are you gonna see if certain units feed certain ductwork? All right.
Yep, it's a whole, it's an energy also, let's not.
When do you think your staff will be able to do that?
We're hoping starting in February with the template and start going through everything. But in the meantime, we still want to gather data.
Well,
See how January's bill comes out, see how February's bill, and, you know, continue to compare.
On the grant, we get the grant money, is that correct?
It's a reimbursement,
Oh,
so
so
we haven't gotten.
we have to pay you though first, correct?
maybe not.
Okay, that's what I was gonna ask next
It's both ways, it
Yeah.
can be, it's just the matter of how you do it.
We don't have the paperwork yet.
Okay.
How many,
You do have the agreements, everything came through.
how many units are back there?
Where is the agreement?
It was emailed. Everything's electronic.
Well,
You need me to send it in? From Betty?
Carrier
Diligent?
pigeon.
well, considering that I was out of the office for the most
That's
part.
probably what happened. Okay, I will
Or-
gladly send it.
So could I suggest you open up a different task order or something in your accounting system?
Already.
Okay, so you already are segregating these
Generator,
fees
garage.
as to be able to get put into that, so.
Absolutely,
Okay.
all separated. So I'm very excited, but let's just take time and spend your money wisely. If we don't have to spend it, let's use the grant. So that's how I'm looking at things. But the design of the garage now can totally change to be gas heated and instead of radiant heat. I think
We
that's-
talked in general before, I don't know if everybody, but we were thinking at some point to try to get plastic piping in the concrete in the floor and the front apron, and that may be the only heat in that building, and that would be like to melt snow off trucks and things like that. So it could be a high efficient electric water heater, maybe one or two of them have two separate circuits. So maybe that much natural gas line that we'd end up paying for may not be the most economical.
There's a couple options, but we need to do the research for you on that. Again, to
Yeah.
me, that's part of the more grant. We're trying to assess the energy usage of that new building.
If
And it
you,
was added in.
if you do that, do you have to put like an insulation layer underneath the concrete?
I don't think so.
It's part of the concrete core.
Yeah, the pour is just the plastic piping through there.
Yeah.
Then they're on like little
It's more-
stands or
it's-
something.
It's more than
There is
that.
something.
Yeah,
We'll talk
there's
to
a-
More
you.
than that.
It's more than that, and you have to look at the cost effectiveness
Mhm.
of doing that, plus whether the wear and tear of having trucks over top of it is
There
an
shouldn't be
issue.
any wear and
Is-
tear on the plastic piping embedded in the concrete.
Yes, there is
How?
compression.
Yeah,
Or
Well, you have,
trucks in
you have your
there.
steel and everything else, and concrete's
Concrete expands
compressed.
and contracts, and
Some-
that pipe
some-
becomes susceptible to that.
Right, and sometimes just having a blower heat, turn it on, it heats, turn it off. You're not worried about anything
That's it.
else, and you're not only heating it to 50 degrees, it's just to make them comfortable.
And
When you're not there, it's good to go down to 40. You know, you just don't want things to freeze. But if you need to do something to a vehicle, just turn it up a bit. With the radiant heating, once you set it, that's it. That thing that's gonna radiate heat, and you will get hot or you will get too cold.
Well, if it's just in the floor, you can maintain that on a thermostat anyway, whether it's outside or inside.
Once it's heated up, it's just like a stove.
What's this hot water?
Continues, no,
No,
it's
it's all the concrete.
Yeah, yeah, the
To your-
concrete gets warm, right?
To your
The
question,
It's a lot of
concrete gets
BTUs.
warm, it keeps radiating it.
right, to your question, Bob, the days of the PVC are almost at an end. Now they have, it's a,
Flex a
That's-
but it's a,
that's-
it's, yeah, it is, but there is a, it's like squares that interlock together and you lay that down first. And in that lie channels to put this, it's usually 3/4 inch, it's a really heavy,
It's an HG.
hose, yeah, and there's ways you can serpentine it through this grid, and then you pour on that. That takes away a lot of the liability of the PVC pipe and stuff like that. I have to agree with,
My name's Pamela.
that, what's that? What'd you say?
I said my name's Pamela.
No, I'm thinking about what I wanna say and how I wanna say it.
I have to agree with Denise Wayne.
Too many thoughts at one time, Pam, I'm
I
sorry.
know, you're not spinning.
The overhead units will never let you down.
You're too cold, crank them, it's natural gas, very inexpensive.
You can certainly put insulation under the floor as a barrier, yes, it's done time and time again. I would not be in favor of radiant heat the floor.
I only wanted it to melt the snow out on front, and to melt snow that, gets on the floor.
I don't know how much of an apron you're talking about, but
12 foot by the width of the building, probably, something like that,
Shovel it
12,
off
15
with
foot.
salt.
I was just gonna say a $20 snow shovel will do the same job for
Right, and what we
a
were
lot less
trying,
dependability.
to do.
I'll come shovel it off for you.
It depends on who's pushing the shovel.
Well, again, looking at your budget, what you really wanna do, this is just a storage facility. It is not to be human, it's not to be habitated, it's just to park your trucks, store your signs and some of the, small things you might use in a loft. And basically, that's it. And by code, it can be a simple pole building, but once you put people in it, you're gonna go up over $500,000.
Well, isn't it an issue of the occupancy of the building, like it's permanent occupancy versus like a barn, you're allowed to have people walk in and out every day in a barn, and that's how it gets classified, or a heated storage structure.
Storage, not maintenance.
Right, storage structure.
And it's not a public building.
It's not a public building, it's just storage. They just walk to use the bathroom,
Employees only.
sink, everything,
Sign on the
correct,
door.
correct.
Employees only.
No ADA, it's just, it's a simple storage building, no real bells and whistles, and that's what we really, in my opinion, think that we would want you to do. This building is beautiful, you spent your money, keep your garage just simple, please.
Keep it a garage.
Yes, yes.
You can't have a hillbilly shed back there with a Taj Mahal in the front.
Sure you could.
Well, what you're gonna see is beautiful doors. Beautiful garage doors from the street, that's what you'll see. Yeah. And you can make them a color, soft color
No,
palette, but it's gonna be 3 doors.
if you're that concerned about the concrete outside the door, you could put low voltage electric grid in there.
Yeah.
That doesn't last forever.
For 28 million.
Yes, and when it's done, your only repair, rip the concrete out and replace it. I don't think it's worth it. You're not talking a steep grade, you're not talking,
Oh, no, it's a beautiful site to put the
Yeah.
garage, absolutely beautiful.
yeah.
So I do have the MEP's ear, they're waiting, but I think it's just lighting and heating. That's pretty much it. The sink and plumbing inside, I don't think you really need anything out there.
Do you think it'll be at the point at our next meeting, you can come back and say, because I'm still seeing, when I try to order stuff, these long delivery items, especially for a standby generator for emergency management coordinator. So I'm sort of trying to push you to get that number before everything else.
And if I can't get enough data on this building, I'm just missizing your generator. And that's sad. I'm throwing you.
Well,
I'm
one
throwing
stick
you-
of dynamite will do, two will do better, so I don't mind if we oversize a little bit.
That's okay,
Right,
now that we know we have gas,
yeah.
And
instead of using diesel.
here's the thing, one, we haven't sold the old building yet, that's got a generator, I can operate out of there if I need to. Push come to shove, I can go up to the county building and use the EOC up there.
It's not that important that you have it here immediately, and plus we have this grant, that's exactly what.
But the gas gensets are longer lead time than the diesel ones.
Yeah,
Again,
but,
Dave
you know.
said, what can he do? He has options.
Yeah,
I
understand.
have plenty of options.
Right.
He's got options.
I can operate out of my house too.
How many, that's 4 places then. Right, you have 4 places that you could, in case.
Your house has a standby generator?
Yes, sir.
Oh, good for you.
Yeah, you should put a switch connect,
Natural gas.
install a switch connect to the building.
Right.
You could rent a portable parking there too,
Yeah.
if you have to.
We have all sorts of
Yes.
options, and again, with this more grant, I'm very excited that
Yeah.
you have these options. You don't have to spend one dime. It goes from the audit, and then it goes into the design parameters, and these features can then be, designed and sized.
Yeah.
So next month, can you give us like 3 tables, like here's where we're at on these things? Here's our next anticipated items and sort of a time frame for all those 2?
Yeah, so let me make sure I covered everything.
Like a real engineering report?
You know what she said here, right? That's Pamela. It wasn't your name, I just had like, too much track going on.
But the other thing that I think Derek, Allison, and Amanda and I need a budget, is it $100,000, $50,000? Because we have nothing to go by yet, and the shirt building kit is 80 just to
It was like
start,
86.
and the footings have to be changed, because.
He did send me an updated thing, but I forgot to look at what he sent.
The footing.
Until we, have somebody sniffing around the building and see what
That's
they're
the
ready
other
to
thing.
buy, pay to buy it. The other building, a lot of everything
And
depends.
so that, again, if we have to wait, we wait, but I keep you updated, we keep moving forward in the right direction, and Dave has options in case there is an emergency.
Good.
So to me, it's great news, just sit tight, be patient.
I have a 5th option. Mount Penn Fire Company also has a standby generator.
There we go. There we go.
I'm sure they'd be
What
more
Mr.
willing to let
Fritz-
us operate out of there
Standby
too.
generators too, just go to the grocery store, they have them.
Costco.
Does require a floodplain ordinance.
Dave's in house. so.
I never
But-
Does the state review?
let me check.
But for clarification, you're not thinking that we would suddenly take these heat pumps that we have now with the electric resistor heat and suddenly change to a more efficient heat pump and bring natural gas in as a heater here? Or you're thinking,
That's why I'm waiting.
That's
Okay.
tempting,
That's why I'm waiting.
that's really tempting.
Exactly. It's,
From an
don't
efficiency
spend your
standpoint,
money
that's
yet.
tempting.
Don't spend your
It's-
money yet.
Don't
It's
spend the money.
tempting, and it's tempting on, even if that building is done and this stays the same, because this has the least amount of use with the most controlled temperature.
Your other side is where all your offices are.
All
That's
the,
where the demand's going to be.
Yes.
And that's a separate unit.
yes,
So, again,
When
the
you say
energy
separate, you're
one.
referring to
the heater.
Okay. as far as the backup generating system, I don't think if you would do that, that really wouldn't affect the size of that. It shouldn't.
But we want some electric bills to know it's more closer reality.
Has anybody talked about, and I don't wanna get too far ahead of ourselves here, about the potential of, putting solar on the roof at some point?
Actually, I put that in the grant.
I had a feeling you were gonna say that.
We did.
Got the perfect roof line for it up there.
Yeah, oh, absolutely.
Perfect angle.
I did,
will the slop sink change the use of a storage building?
yes, because then you're there and you're doing.
We've talked about it, that if we had,
Get a portable,
if we had to,
get a portable.
we,
You guys are thinking small. This is something you're gonna build for 30 years.
we.
And not to have a sink in a garage, to me, I think is very short-sighted.
You gotta come up with the money though.
No.
You're looking at, what, $750,000 for that?
No, we're not.
Get a portable.
Yeah, you are.
I'm throttled back, but I'm just trying to understand what occupancy versus L&I is with a sink.
It's gray water, you could dump it out the back, get a portable.
You know, with the creek there, that's instantaneous Clean Water Act in violation.
It wouldn't make it that far.
You're gonna have to have floor drains in there anyway, correct? You do not for a storage building?
Nope.
Interesting.
As long as you slope it correctly.
You have a shovel and a squeegee, sorry, Eric.
That's why I'm
It'll
trying to make
evaporate.
it simple for you. Now, maybe we can get away with just a slop sink and minimal plumbing just for the sink.
But,
More than that, just.
No, I'm all I'm asking for right now, because I was still assuming there'd be floor drains. So if you're gonna have a floor drain, then you might as well have a sink, but if you're thinking not,
None.
and how will that change occupancy?
Floor drain, because floor drains then have to be in an oil water separator.
Yep, that's right.
It has to go to the plumbing, and there's pumps,
There won't be a pump, it'll still be gravity with an oil water separator.
possibly not. Worst case.
And how far is the tie-in?
I don't know yet. So you may
From
have
the
to.
building?
Creek.
I'm quiet.
All the way in front, right?
Say from the building to the existing 160-foot trench.
More than likely.
It'll be 2 foot lower than the gas line going all the way back there.
That's the uptick of the cost.
I don't know what our inlet for our laterals coming in now.
If you can get by with a simple slop sink, I'd call the game right there.
So, on that matter, let's wait. We have we have money that we can spend, and it doesn't cost the borough anything. The next big thing is the Green Light Go grant. I have the timeline, and we talked about the corridor there on Perham Avenue. So, it opens September of this year, it'll be here before you know it. So,
Yes.
Allison, I can get started, it will.
It'll be here before our new snowplow trucks ever, yes.
Exactly, exactly. So what we can do is sit and look at that and make some decisions and.
Greg, in the last meeting, we talked about that big pole out there by McDonald's that's been reworked a couple times, and a brand new one's 46,000. And so then Pam said, hey, why don't we just get a grant to go replace those?
with a, 10-month lead time.
Yeah, so that's how this all came about.
But you
How
have
much is
3
it,
years.
46 or
Oh,
something?
you said 146, I'm
It
sorry.
does, it probably will be at
That's
the time it's done. But you have 3 years to spend that money, so it's a great grant.
We did it before, so.
And you got the grant, pretty much anybody I submit gets the grant.
Would the grant be for masts again, or are you thinking completely overhead, what do they call those?
We would have
Not a
to have.
trestle, but a
serious-
gantry across?
Serious discussion with Tom Walter about what we want and have him.
And what happens is it's called a pre-scoping. You send in I'll call it a project, and then the PennDOT people review it and they come back with comments. We had one in West Reading that was separated at ADA because are gonna cost, so they just did the signal. Now we have another green light grant for all the ADA, the pedestrian push buttons, the ramps, everything that has to be reworked at this one intersection.
So you could go
That's
in
where
with a
they
gant,
catch it.
you could go in with a gantry and then see if they,
Anything we want,
and then see what they say.
you got it. And there's spreadsheets that all you do is you pick line items. You do not have to think about the cost, it's all there for PennDOT.
Is there, what's the uptick, the upside to a gantry versus
$46,000. There's like 5 or 7 fixtures on that one pole.
Right.
No wonder it's bending
The
down.
pole was never meant to hold,
so
and it has been repaired and jury-rigged since the get-go of its life,
so
and
a new cantilever pole wouldn't
it's,
suffice?
You don't know if the pole itself can take
But
the
you're talking about
load.
replacing the pole,
oh,
So the pole and mast are
Right.
maybe together,
right?
or like Bob said, because of the span, now you do a box. Now you just
Yeah.
do the whole box.
That
because,
requires 2 poles.
yes.
Correct.
Part
That's
of
what I'm saying,
our
because of-
issue is because of the nature of how the signals hang up there, when the wind blows
Oh, yeah.
through there, they're all over the place and it affects the wiring, and how many times has that wiring been repaired up there?
In the past 2 years, I think 3 times.
But that $47,000, that's for the single pole.
Yes.
That's just for the
replacing
pole.
it.
Just the
Yeah.
pole, just the pole.
Just
That's
the-
not,
Right.
that's not doing all the work.
And I think that's just the pole.
That's
So
just
the pole
that's
and
not
the arm.
installation.
Yeah.
No, I thought it
I
was just
know,
the
I
arm.
think it's,
Yeah, so I think installation was like 60 once you put the
Was
pole.
it the pole and the
Pole was
mast?
48, well, that's, yeah, together for the pole was 48 with mast on it, but then installation was like another 60.
Another 60.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
You know, business.
Right.
Yeah.
And it was a 10-month lead time.
Go green light, go.
I know.
You got it right for once. Holy,
It's a new year.
I'm trying.
So this would be year 11,
but it was so much fun when you screwed it up.
and you were Allison, you were year 1 you went in?
We were year one.
So here we can say yes, we're.
Yeah, we
using the
found
same
all the
word.
deficiencies with all of the stuff that they had set
No, it's
up.
not just that signal, I mean, you can go up and down the corridor, which other signals are yours, maybe at Ole, if that's another one that you have problems with.
Well,
or
only
up here.
Turnpike, everything
Herkione.
on Perkiomen needs to be looked at.
All right, so you have the McDonald's and then you have Ole, is that it, and the Borough?
That's it
On
on
Perkiomen.
Perkiomen.
Okay.
Then we have,
And then the next year you do another. Let's
then we have
focus on what
Prospect.
we're gonna do first.
we have,
Prospect, Bayham, and Elm.
and,
That's what I'm saying, let's focus.
Yeah,
that's
I
how
mean,
we do it.
there's nothing wrong with the other ones other than we have.
The only thing I would suggest is can we use green light go to get rid of a signal intersection, because Elm Street really,
Doesn't need to be signaled.
We can talk to them about it, because of the school, it's not needed.
It's not a
That's
school,
why it was
it's
there.
a
No,
administration.
because of the
Yeah.
school, that's why it was there.
Because people bitch about it.
So we go for another grant to remove all that stuff.
Possibly,
it's gonna be
Okay.
sort of for.
Put it in.
all right.
And I say that's an intersection.
Store that stuff back.
Yeah, then we're gonna store it in our shed.
For maintenance.
Yeah, 'cause that way-
There's a saving,
Pole,
there would be
have
a
one.
savings for removing that.
So the signal,
It's
And
changed.
that's a signal that's been hit by lightning and repaired and replaced.
all that stuff's ours.
The school.
Yeah, that one is a constant, they just have the whole thing, it's not even, it's, the timing's off because they were repairing whatever.
But yes, for next month, I'll prepare a little spreadsheet with the timelines for everything, but again, I'm very excited. But let's see if we can keep the garage just very simple.
Can you email me a PDF of the survey? You did?
It's
Up
not,
here,
yeah, it's not finished.
Oh, not
that's
here.
not finished, the one that was finished was the
Old building.
old building, which I gave you a draft.
Can you send me that too? The
Yeah.
old
Yes.
building?
Yeah,
Yes.
because
I
it'll
found
be
it
a-
printed because our printer was on.
And these are Alta surveys?
No,
Okay,
standard surveys.
okay.
Alta's a whole different.
I know.
You know,
It's fine.
but yes, I can send those. But that's it for my report, but again, I'm excited, good stuff happening.
At some point, if we finish the survey at the old hall, we should provide that to our sales agent as
Yeah.
part of the sale.
That's the plan that I gave you.
Yes,
And we-
that's, yeah, but it's messy.
Oh, it's messy. It was
And
just
we
because
probably need to
the town-
give him the spots report on upgrading everything there. We probably need to give him that also. Because
And we paid.
they're relying, new disclose what we've already paid for or no, you know, that becomes sort of an issue. And why do we care?
He gave us a packet to fill out of
Yeah.
all of the detailed stuff.
But my point is, why do we care what the SPOS report says? It's, the building's gonna be as is where it is.
Don't
And it might not even be, you know, the same use.
That's
Right, so we need to make sure he gets that.
Right,
That's what I'm trying to say.
With residential real estate, there's a seller's disclosure, that here there isn't, but it can still be a source of liability if not disclosed, if they believe it's actively hid, something was actively hidden. Not that the building isn't,
Right.
if it is.
But what's exciting is you're selling that other parcel with parking as a whole, and that's huge if the buyer wants to make it into apartments, that's
So,
huge.
It's got all the necessary tools out of the gate, down in
That's so exciting.
my studio apartments in there, yeah,
With an elevator.
with an elevator, backup
And
generating
a
system.
generator.
Put in a bid.
I'll take that, I'll talk to my wife when I go.
So that's all
There
I
goes the
have.
Alaska
for this
cruise.
evening.
And can he sleep on your
Yes.
couch?
You have an enclosed porch in the front, right?
Did you get anywhere about the flaggers opening up our control box and stuff like
That
that?
I
I don't know
did,
if
yes.
Okay.
somebody's,
If Exeter could have a golf course.
yeah, that's true.
Done?
I'm done.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Keep on. Solicitor?
Nothing to report.
We're gonna have to do something to get you, have to report for us then. Mayor's not here, departments, finance, anything finance wise?
We have money.
Zoning, code, anything?
No,
Public-
haven't had a chance.
Public safety?
I don't know if it falls under code, but have we, been following up on Old Turnpike Road? Derek, have we in any way followed up on Old Turnpike Road?
Say, I have no updates for that.
I'm not giving up on it.
What specifically?
That, hoarder house up on the hill,
Yes.
that's gotta go.
Is that actually the house closest to the little commercial business? here? It's that.
I could not be a neighbor there. I wouldn't be a free man. That's got it.
Good. Public works?
My report is attached. The only thing, a couple things I guess of note. I did ask about the traffic lights for Elm Street. So the reason why I was getting tripped into Flash every time it went into Flash, I guess there's a loose wire in that. So every time the trip, or every time they did the change and they came back out, it would cycle back into regular mode. So that was fixed, so that should not happen again. The detection module that runs the camera systems, that apparently is in a back order for the rebuild, so it's gonna be several months until that can get repaired. So that's gonna be on time until at least,
Can we adjust that timer? Cause it seems like,
that's the third part of that whole thing. So Telco did adjust the timing on that. They extended the green on St. Lawrence Avenue and shortened the red. So it's 45 seconds on the main street, only 10 seconds on Elm Street now,
Oh, that's awesome.
versus it was 30 and 20.
Can't you just leave it?
so the light's gonna turn green on Ole Turnpike Road and only stay green for 45 seconds?
Say more.
Same
Same
thing.
way.
Avenue, sorry.
So 45 seconds, then it just cycles, and then it goes red for 10
Can it
seconds.
be any longer than that?
We could make it longer.
No, I have to look at it, I gotta sit that late.
Are most of the people right on red there?
That's the big thing there, is a lot of people do turn right on red, but now you do have the occasional person that sits there.
Can you wait a minute?
You run it all the time.
Yes, you can.
You know how in the winter,
Amazing what you learn here.
my turn right there is horrible.
Yeah.
I will
You hit with the
say,
snow plow and just put a stop sign up, we'll be done.
Yeah.
well, we were having
There's a
issues
stop
with the
sign.
detector before, when
Just
the
unplug it.
actual camera was loose, it would go up to a minute, and people were complaining
Take care of
because
it.
they were waiting for forever, which a minute for them seems very long, so I can't imagine that being for 6 months like that. I mean, it's better than it was now, so, or it was before, so.
I'm just saying in the greening of America, there's more emissions with people stopping, you know, every 45 seconds than the people waiting for the minute.
I mean, if you want my slight opinion on that, I don't know why we could leave it on flash all the time, because that is no longer designated as a school down there, so most of the intersections on that road are stop signs.
What's the
That's
state
only
have to
one
say
I
on
know.
that?
So we have to go through and get permitting change on it, and that's the whole deal with this, is right now we're just operating as a repair maintenance item, that gives us the ability.
Let me email Chris Soroki.
So the whole issue is the camera, and the camera's on,
See what they have a duty to
Parts for the camera.
Parts for the camera.
The detector module that operates the camera is out.
Yes.
So now, right now, there's nothing that
If we have to do a traffic
signals the
study, then.
change, because it doesn't know if.
Can you buy a whole new camera just to cannibalize that part?
I don't even wanna know how much that is.
I'm
I
just
know that's
asking.
one of the most expensive parts in there, is that whole detection system.
And who knows if they even, that was one of the early,
And I will say, so the Green Light Go grant in this instance, we're actually on a system that was early adoption, they no longer use this one anymore.
But by going to flash, it's like a first step to go into a stop sign there.
Correct, so you have
So
yellow,
you-
right away would be on St. Lawrence Avenue, and you have a
Right.
stop sign on.
It'd be just like going to it, so it's.
It'd be like it was there before it was a school.
Right. And if it causes a problem, we'll know it before we.
Yeah, are we tempting,
Well, I will say,
any
so
kind of fate with
if
folks
you-
on Elm Street?
if you
Yeah.
ask from a liability standpoint for the state, anytime you make corrections without them being engineered or studied, you run a risk of a liability. Because now if something happens and you just said, oh, I just turned it to flash, was inconvenience of somebody, and something happens, you're on
Well,
the
that's
hook.
why I want to email Chris Ruby, who's the traffic signal department head at PennDOT. And he also is, in the emails with the Green Light Go program, so it's part of his world, and asking for the process to do this. And like Allison said, yeah, we're like, we need to do a study, but then it's the, just a traffic counter, that's really all it is.
Having heard Derek say that that detection system that was used when we did this the last time is no longer used, do we want to incorporate in the new grant to upgrade
All the controllers.
all the intersections that have detection, Holy Turnpike Road?
And the reason because of this controller being out, we can't get the part.
Yeah.
And if this
Upgrade
was
to
at
the
another,
current model.
if this was at another intersection, we would probably rob Elm Street to get this.
Yes.
So maybe we should go ask for flashing now and then to upgrade the controllers.
Yeah, add that to the.
But the reason why we're asking for flashing is because the part availability and it's antiquated and this is part of the problem.
Do we get complaints from citizens
All
having
the
flashing?
Oh, and
not
flash.
about flashing.
Yeah,
No,
about flashing,
about the
I mean,
length
the
of,
residents right there.
When you say all the time, how many per day or how many per month?
When
Because
I-
I'll call every time I have to stop now, so to
At
counteract
the
them all.
time, I would say at least like 5 people have called,
In
because
the-
it takes too long. Like, they're sitting there for too long.
I'm gonna check
On
your
St.
emails and
Lawrence,
text
and St.
messages.
Lawrence backs up, but then you have everyone either coming out of the houses right there, all of Hunter's Run, like when I leave Hunter's Run to go home, I always sit at that light, so then I'd be calling, complaining on the opposite side, because now I gotta sit at home for 4 hours.
Who you call?
Greg will tell you that he said he
Calling
regularly
myself.
violates
Left on red.
regularly.
Yeah, I've done it. for
That's because you
years.
got one of those FOB cards.
Yeah.
huh?
If I can pull it over, I'm calling
I
you.
don't commit many traffic infractions.
Does that make sense to go flash it to get rid of it?
It's an unreasonable amount of time.
We're not gonna get this work till we know what, you
It's
know.
working better now. Now I understand, because it has been working better, but it's because you've just got it on a timer. So obviously, don't spend a cent to fix that.
Wait till tomorrow.
The camera must not have been detecting cars properly. So even before it failed completely, it must not have been working right.
So,
You
yeah,
could pull
we-
up and it just wouldn't cycle.
Mhm.
You could sit there for minutes. Like,
There's
it just
all kind of
wouldn't cycle.
There's all kind of companies that repair electronic stuff that's no longer being sold or made, and you send it off to them and they sort of reverse engineer it and give it back to you. Are you allowed to do that on PennDOT things?
Seriously, Bob?
I'm serious. I'm dead serious. It's like a lot of
Can you
point of
find that
sales,
tomorrow?
a lot of point of sales equipment, like in gas stations, this happens all the time. And nobody wants to upgrade, so there's industries that
Well,
rebuild these
We're
parts.
talking private gas stations.
Yeah, but that-
Not state roads.
Traffic signals, but then you open yourselves up for liability, which then you're gonna get Jim involved.
Are we in agreement to go to flashers?
No, not yet,
Yeah.
not
I
yet.
think
Oh, wait, to get notified.
Ask that question.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
I wanna notify is Chris Roby, I know the people that I need to talk to, and explain that the part's on order, but it's in.
Are we restricted to how long it can be, the time periods?
So that's what I also wanna ask,
Yeah.
can I go on flash until we apply for the green light go to eliminate this signal, it serves no purpose?
No, I wanna understand, can we make Elm at least a minute or 2 minutes and still be within our permit.
But we want to make people wait.
Yeah, absolutely.
Well,
When I know you did that, when I run it and crash, I wanna blame you. I'm gonna say Bob forced me.
Greg, I'm gonna need your help on a few tickets, okay?
But the way it was before, I've seen when school buses are running, you get a long line of cars behind it. School bus gets through, and then, and then cars are all back up in both directions.
Yeah. And they're like, there's no car on Elm.
Right,
Where was the
right.
car?
Right.
Well,
Why
the
did
car,
it turn?
the car already did the right turn on red and got through.
Or left.
We're left, either way.
Well, no, not with a left line.
So-
No.
You've heard it here. He does it.
Yeah.
He's not, he is.
So if I see him do it, I'm calling you.
Don't call me.
Sure.
I see nothing.
Not tripping.
I give it a chance.
It's just ponderous, you know, PennDOT and ponderous.
It is.
I remember.
There's an office.
But potentially,
Probably talk about it, yeah.
how long, if they would agree to go to flash?
Well, when you
How long
put a
can they-
new, when you put a new signal, it typically is like 30 days on flash. So it might be, but
But if we're looking to remove it,
if we're looking to remove it, he might say that, well, we have to do the study, we need to do this, we need to do this, how about 90 days, that kind of thing. I don't know yet until I email him and agree.
Flasher till our perk comes.
my concern is that going to flash for an extended period of time, people coming out Elm might get a little antsy. And
But it's a stop sign, it's a red flash on them, they're
I know.
supposed to stop.
I know
And
that,
then
you know
turn
that.
both ways. And then.
But we've
if
had
it's
testimony
flash,
tonight to,
but you're supposed
Yeah,
to
but he
put the
stops
sign.
first.
I do, what else?
I'm talking about taking
Also
chances, you know, with traffic coming in.
But you put a stop
We,
sign,
It's
I
gonna be
think we
the
also
same
have,
thing.
if they have stop signs,
that's correct.
they are, we can just, we'll just flip that up too.
Anytime it's supposed to go
Can
to
we do
flash,
that?
when the power goes out, you're supposed to put
Right.
the sign.
Talking about
It's
power.
not
East Never-
signal.
East Never Sink Road, when you
So
come
if
off
we
of
go
my
to flash
pass.
red on Elm, can we put the stop sign up also?
It should be there already.
Should be there.
No. Can we have both active at the same time?
Yes.
You have to
Do we know that for sure?
Yes, when you, when there's a red flashing, the stop sign goes up.
East Never Sink Road, at the top of the ramp from 422,
Yes.
flat eastbound.
Mhm.
When you get to the top of the ramp, you got a yellow flashing light.
The other two
East
ways-
Never Sink Road, there's stop signs
Right.
and red flashing lights.
Okay.
Yeah, and it's been like that for years.
As long as
But
they
if
live
it's
there.
an emergency, the power goes out, it's supposed to flash
Put a real
as a
light in
default.
there.
No,
The fire police are supposed to run around and flip the signs.
right, but the light at the top of East Never Sink Road, at the top of the ramp, there's no signal there actually. It's a single head,
Yeah.
red facing East Never Sink and a yellow facing the ramp.
Right.
We added additional batteries to the battery tray to all these controllers. So when there was a power outage, that they would last approximately 12 hours, 12 to 16 hours.
I've seen.
So we wouldn't have to call them out to flip signs or anything. So
Yes, that's part of the new green light goes I'm seeing, and it's a certain percentage of the cost of the improvement to the traffic signal, and there are upgrades.
So add extra battery trays on our grant application for anything else we got,
Yeah,
because that was out of our pocket.
well, we might put a bunch in for year 11, just keep picking away, this, don't make it maybe one intersection, do it borough-wide, and let's see what we get. Why not?
Anything else for streets? Anything new from the library?
Hired a new executive director, changed the lead of the board, so the future looks a lot brighter than it did last year.
Awesome.
Anything on joint comp plan?
The January meeting was canceled, you know, the next one's, you know, the first week of February. They did do a special paper type survey for us. I think Allison, you got a copy of it?
I haven't
Okay.
found it in
Yeah.
my email
Well,
yet.
it was from like 3 days ago or so, yeah, so they made a copy, so if they wanted to please include it in the newsletter and stuff, there's a paper copy, they can return it. We also got, I think, an invoice for something like a whopping $126 or something, or,
I think- oh,
it's included in the email with that.
Okay.
some odd dollars, I
Okay.
forget. what it
I'll
is.
go looking.
Anything on more municipal lands more?
No, things seem to be going reasonably well.
Derek, can you give us an update on the electrical, work up on our lands?
As far as I know, they're still over off of Chestnut and Stoner, and they're working on the towers, which would be west of the water tower on Ridge Street. They haven't moved up yet. As far as I know.
Do you think they got like 4 more weeks work to work, or 6, or any idea?
So I don't know if the weather hampered them or not. I know they were still working up until the snow. I don't know if they traveled in the snow or not. So I would say they have at least a couple months yet. Plus they have to come back and do the final erosion control stuff, so they're probably not gonna be done till at least in the summer.
Okay.
Now, the part on Church Lane, there's a bunch of trees or logs sitting there in the old parking lot or something.
I'm not, you bring that up, I'm not sure so some of that was off of the adjoining property, Mr. Cook's. So I'm not sure if those are ours or his, or whose they are, or if they leave them behind or take them.
Yeah, I was just wondering, are they just gonna sit there and rot, or, I mean, it's,
I know they supposedly shredded all the top stuff or left stuff as
Right.
windrow behind for wildlife, but I don't know what they're gonna do with those logs.
yeah,
So I can find that out to find out if.
there's stuff that's, probably, decent sized trees, not huge, but there's a whole pile of them.
So I can
But
inquire.
it looks like it's on our property.
Yeah, it's at that staging ground at the bottom.
Right.
Who owns the trees on our right of way, solicitor? I mean, do we own the trees, or they are allowed to cut trees and dispose of them because it's in the right of way?
I think that when it's in the right of way, I believe it's the municipality's responsibility.
So we gotta get rid of the logs.
I guess we don't have to get rid of them per se.
It's just, that there's a big pile, what do you want to do with them?
Well, they're abandoning the right of way anyway.
Yeah. Are they actually gonna abandon it?
Yeah, they're gonna let that go back to the property owners.
Well, then if it goes back to property owner, then the trees belong to the property owner.
Can you wanna ask them next time you're up to that way and see what they're gonna do with those trees?
Yeah, because I know that's not gonna be the only pile, because that all.
Yeah,
stuff-
ask them what they're gonna do with all the pile of trees.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I think the difference, Joan, is the right of way for the power lines wasn't in the neighbor's
I
property.
thought you were talking about municipal right of way.
The municipal right of way,
Yeah, I think.
to get to our property,
Right. I
and
think
for that landowner to get to his property, that's still gonna be active.
Yeah.
Okay? Recreation Day.
Nothing to report.
Planning Commission, more on anything?
No, did I have a meeting? I don't think we have anything on schedule.
When do you think you'll have a building footprint for the Planning Commission in March now? So
We'll have-
plan on a meeting in March?
Yep.
Zoning hearing, anything new?
Nope.
General comments at any public meetings will be all at the St. Lawrence Borough Hall. Change to office hours, Borough office closed on January 20th. Is that like a ski day or something?
That's MLK Day.
Okay.
Something I wanna just comment on before we get to the end of the meeting.
Sure.
Everybody take a moment and look at the camera up there and look at the room, and compare that to what it was a year ago today. I think this is a wonderful opportunity that we have here, and by all conversations, it's gonna get better. And council, I think, had the easy part. We came, we looked at the building, our jaws kind of dropped. Allison stealthed a budget, obviously it was budget friendly, and Amanda, Derek, and probably Jen, everybody pitched in, and like I said, council had the easy job. So I wanna commend Amanda, and Derek, and Jen for what they did to make this transition. And obviously Allison had to go out for knee surgery, knee replacement, so that just made it a little more cumbersome, so I think you guys did a fantastic job. Really did.
Agreed.
As we sit here and bake in front of the fire.
I don't think we have a need for executive session, correct?
No.
Old business? Hearing none, new business, motion to approve resolution 908-2025, adopting the 2025 borough fee schedule.
All it is the updated 2025 professional.
As they're in there.
Is there such a motion?
So moved.
Second.
Motion been moved and seconded to approve resolution 908-2025, adopting 2025 2025 borough fee schedule. All those in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed, motion passes. Second item under new business, resolution 910-2025, adopting the 2025 borough appointments
As listed,
as listed in your,
it can just be attached.
yeah, I'm not gonna read through them as we've done in the past. It's just, it's been, in the minutes, it'll be in the minutes for the next meeting,
It'll be in the resolution.
in the resolution too. Any discussion on the appointments? Any questions on the appointments?
The appointments are no different than what they had been in the past. But
They are no different.
Just to carry
I
on.
just wanted to make that a public statement.
Make a motion to approve resolution 910-2025, adopting the 2025 borough appointments as attached.
Second.
Motion been moved and seconded to approve resolution 910-2025, adopting the 2025 borough appointments. All those in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed, motion passes. Third item, approve resolution 909-2025, entering into the 2025 Berks County UCC Board of Appeals intergovernmental agreement and authorizing the payment of $300 annual membership fee.
That's for the UCC code. So if anybody appeals, which nobody does, you have to have an appeals board. And we have been a member of the Berks County Appeals Board since they started.
And I highly recommend it because it's very difficult to get a qualified board that you need, and it also takes those decisions.
Who's on the Berks County UCC Appeals Board? Who's a solicitor for the board?
Doesn't matter.
I'm just asking. You're asking us to approve of a board. I just sort of like to know who the members are. I think that's a reasonable
I
request.
believe that Dan Becker from our firm is still solicitor for the UCC Appeals Board. It's very rare that.
Who's it?
It's handled,
SDS, are they the engineers for that? Okay.
it's handled by the planning commission for the.
Amanda, please send me an email. I wanted to see if you guys find the list of who's on there. I'm just curious.
It's on
All
the
right.
county's website.
Yeah.
I'll make a motion to approve resolution 909-2025, entering into the 2025 Berks County UCC Board of Appeals intergovernmental agreement and authorizing the payment of $300 annual membership fee.
Second.
Motion been moved and seconded. All those in favor to approve resolution 909-2025, signify by saying aye. All opposed, motion passes. Fourth item, we need a motion to authorize the sale of the old Borough Hall contents on municipal bid.
We start listing stuff and selling it, and then as stuff gets sold in whatever fashion, is bringing it back in a resolution and a list of what it was, so that council can approve the sale of those items, which I think makes it all legal to borough code.
No, I'm
Can't you just approve the sale up front?
I'm confused.
You have to,
With the
technically, you have to list the items.
Are these items, I mean, are you talking about items sold individually because there is?
or in lots,
Or in lots, tables,
There are
tables,
chairs,
chairs, file
desks.
cabinets,
Pews.
no.
Four of those are still out.
Okay, all of the contents of the old Borough Hall as it would proceed through, and since technically when you sell your fixed assets, and we never know how much they're gonna go for, that it keeps it all on the up and up, and it's listed.
So do you set a minimum when you list it?
It's advertised when it's over a certain dollar amount.
Well, until it
That's
goes
my
on
question.
to municipal, who knows? And I'm sure it does municipal advertising it on their website and opening it for bid for X amount of time. Cause
Make that
everybody
compliant
does
with the
it.
rules, is what we're
We've
asking.
always had to do with this.
Borough code.
When I was in another.
How much, yeah, what's the dollar threshold?
Yeah, that was a township, there, let me find the dollar.
She's
I'm gonna find the dollar first.
Because we really,
Who determines the dollar amount?
well, on
There was a
municipal,
municipal, they're bidding on it, so.
Like
they'll
eBay for
start-
municipal.
Yeah,
Wow.
but, yes, correct.
And
Yeah.
sometimes you have, let's say, a mower, and you say it starts at 5,000, you don't want anybody to go below 5,000.
Yeah, you can put.
So the threshold.
You have a minimum
There's a
bid.
reserve on it.
Yeah.
Right, there's a minimum, right.
So are you putting items on for minimum bid? Is that what your plan is?
no.
No, I was just gonna open it up, I'm gonna, I guess just open it up so we can see what people
Borough
Yeah.
code is different than second class.
Right, and
That's-
there are
I'm
exceptions.
confused, what do you mean by throw out there?
Like, you don't have to put a dollar amount,
Okay.
like, you wanna buy this
Okay.
lot of shares.
You
can
So-
put
You can start $5.
Yeah, I'm just saying, yeah, so I'm saying that's the reserve, so,
All right, the answer to this is set in section 1201.2 of the Borough Code, with certain exceptions, which I'll get into. No borough personal property may be disposed of by sale or otherwise, except upon approval of council by resolution. In cases where council approves a sale of the property, council shall estimate the fair market value of the entire lot to be disposed of. If council estimates the fair market value to be $2,000 or more, the entire lot shall be advertised for sale once at least one newspaper of general circulation, not
Yeah, we'll
more
make
than
sure our
10
lots
days
are under.
prior. The date for opening of bids or public auction. Now, there's also a section in there on electronic auction sale. Public auction of personal property may be conducted by means of online or electronic auction sale. During electronic auction sale, bids shall be accepted electronically at the time and the manner designated in the advertisement. During the electronic auction, each bidder shall have the capability to view the bidder's bid rank or the high bid price, which I'm sure Municipal does.
Yes, it does, as long as the person.
And bidders can increase their bid prices during the auction. Record of electronic auction shall be available for public inspection. Purchase price to be paid by the highest bidder immediately or a reasonable time afterwards. A borough that has complied with the advertising requirements of this section may provide additional public notice of the sale by bids or public auction in the manner deemed appropriate by council. Advertisement of electronic auction sales authorized in this paragraph shall include the internet address or means of accessing electronic auction and date, time, and duration. So if it's estimated $2,000 or more, you're going to have to advertise, even if it's going to be on Municipal, just put in the web address.
And I don't think that we have any single item or lot that. we-
but if a lot would suddenly come in over $2,000, do we have to reject that?
Is it just one lot, or is it all combined?
No,
as one?
it'd be
It says
lots.
the entire
The
thing.
entire thing, so
Right.
everything inside of the old Borough Hall cannot be more than $2,000.
No,
No.
one chair can't be $2,000.
If you have,
Five chairs can't be $2,000.
We need to, yeah.
you're making groups for sale.
Yeah, you're making
Groups
lots.
for sale, yeah, you're creating lots for sale, just create them estimated less than $2,000.
But if a bid is over $2,000 on that lot, do we have to refuse that bid?
I don't think you do, I don't think you.
Well, I don't
do.
know, I'm just asking a simple question.
Lots
way
for
I-
$500, even if that's over 2,000, doesn't matter, because each lot is under 2,000.
Correct.
Right.
Okay.
But my understanding, what Joe just read, is if we set,
Reserve,
well, no, we don't, not necessarily reserve, but if we value a lot at $1,000, and the bidding runs all the way up because a few people really want this, and it goes up to $3,000, we'd already set the fair market value at 1,000. I don't know that if we get 3,000, we'd have to reject
I don't
that
think
bid.
you do, I absolutely don't think you do.
I don't think so either, I just want to know
And if it's,
what you read in A didn't also cover B.
yeah,
Yeah.
I don't believe so, and also if it's sold to another municipality, to a school district, a volunteer fire company, volunteer ambulance service, or rescue squad, any of those or similar governmental or nonprofit entities, which a lot of the purchasers might be, there's an exception for advertising
That makes
anyway.
sense.
So for our next meeting, would you list the stuff that got sold, so we can see per month what got sold in the dollars?
We have to do a resolution,
To
right?
do a resolution.
Right, that's what I mean.
Come back and have to do an actual resolution
This
for it.
would be, this would be
To approve the sale.
So we need a resolution then to approve listing these items on Municipal.
No.
Yes.
Yes,
Yes.
that's what she said, that's what she said.
Each lot has to
No.
be.
No, just
No.
an actual
Sale.
resolution.
Resolution.
That's for after it's sold.
No.
It says accept.
Because we have to advertise.
Okay, it
You
says
just-
accept is
you blank
provided
it.
in subsection B, no
That's what I'm saying.
personal
You just
property
blank say.
may
Hold on.
be
Hang on,
disposed
hang on.
of by sale or otherwise, except upon approval of council by resolution.
So
In
instead of
cases
this motion,
when,
it's a resolution.
right, I would say this should be done by resolution.
Resolution.
So
But the resolution covers all the content.
Right, we're gonna make a resolution to sell surplus equipment on Municipal.
Yeah.
We're gonna tell them to make lots less than $2,000, and to go ahead and do it, and every month from there on, show us what you sold, as you buy down.
That's right,
Right.
that's the way.
That's the way.
Just show or do another resolution?
No,
No.
we're gonna,
The resolution is the authorization.
Okay.
side issue on this. Is it the intent of council to completely clean that building out for the next potential buyer?
Yes.
Or what we don't sell, what's there is there, and they get their, clean out crew to clean it out?
Can we table that and see what happens?
Yeah, so
Is there
I think we need to make
anything
that
that you
decision
go off
tonight.
limits? Is there anything that like is a definite no-go?
The clock.
The bookcase is in
It'll be
the
here.
old office.
Okay, your office, the clock, obviously the clock. Like all of
The
that
chairs,
Is the clock,
the audience chairs in council chambers,
are coming over.
they're coming over.
And where are you gonna store them? We can build another equipment shed for them?
I'll store them in my office.
Let's table that right now.
Okay,
I don't,
what, I got an idea. Why can't, and I was thinking about this last month, those are pretty nice chairs, but they're heavy, they're hard to store. Why can't we take, I know, but someone, in need, somebody's gonna have to move them, okay? Why can't we take some of those funds and buy some nice, maybe higher-end folding, comfortable padded chairs? They're easier to store, we don't have to worry about having Hercules move a stack of chairs every time we need them, if and when we would ever need them. Well, what's wrong with doing that? The answer is nothing.
it depends on how much money you get for the chairs
Well,
that you
sure.
sell
Why not?
versus what
Put
you
it on
want
the
to buy.
resolution, see what you get.
Yeah, and,
Because Women's Club plans to be more active having community functions.
And that's
in
why
this
he's saying
building.
get something lightweight, because
like,
these ladies.
look at,
can't
I mean,
move stuff.
I'm just gonna use these chairs because I sat down tonight with no fear of like I'm falling through the floor, okay? Something like this, they fold up, they're easy to store, if the women have to move them, they're user-friendly. It doesn't have to be this kind of chair with rollers on it, but something that, again, go long-term, is easy to handle, and it's at the ready, and we don't have to worry about, gee, where are we gonna store these, how many chairs do we have, 20, 30?
Yeah.
36.
I'm gonna say closer to 40.
Yeah.
Here's
I-
30, over the,
No,
I'm sure they're great sturdy chairs, and they got good cushion on them,
36.
but it's not practical, where are you putting them? In the new building we're gonna build out there, I don't think so.
No. That's your vehicle.
That's my 30 seconds.
I still don't know how many chairs we have here.
40.
Is it 40 or 32?
I thought there was 40 of these altogether.
And Women's Club, something that have more than 40 people?
She's talking about, the women's club wants to do like community activities, have kids.
Kids,
use
Christmas
their
party,
Okay, great, that's
whatever,
fantastic.
election day,
In that back
people
room,
that-
that's awesome, I know.
where
So can anybody envision them women dragging those heavy chairs around from wherever they might be?
they're not that heavy.
Before we start talking about that, are we cleaning that building spick and span, or are we gonna leave what we don't sell in the building? That's my question.
Well, I don't think that that's a question that needs to be answered tonight. We
Okay.
decide to see how much is left.
I think a potential buyer is gonna ask that question.
Well, yeah.
So if I was,
It's not even on the, it's not on the market yet.
We can
so
open it up and
we
let the
can see how much
residents
we sell
come in
municipal.
for.
Well, yeah, I-
If-
Yeah,
if there's-
Hey, he's
Can we
like
do that?
auction.
Why couldn't we, if it didn't go on
I
auction?
know, but-
Hold on.
Pictures and the outdoor pictures are getting done on Monday.
Oh, okay, well, all right, well, now I've been updated. So,
are we cleaning that building spick and span, or after the sale of everything, or we are not? That's my question.
If we get a buyer right away, we'll ask them what they want. Like that.
Again,
Let's
today's
put it up,
point.
and if all of a
Let's see
sudden
what happens.
someone wants it, then we'll be like, all right.
Let's
you
get
want
to
us
the auction
you
stuff
want us to
first.
clean it out?
Right.
We get a 40-yard roll-off, and we just start keeping stuff out the windows.
And put it on the street free.
No, do not take it, we're going 10 minutes.
We get one more shot at Beach Food Crush.
That's right, we get one more
Doesn't
drive in
Scour
the
owe us
tree.
anything? Bring a truck over here.
So we're gonna propose a resolution to sell surplus equipment from the prior building on municipal bid.
Yeah.
We're gonna make the lots less than $2,000.
In the meantime, we'll work on
In the
the
meantime,
lots.
we're gonna work on,
The
we know
pictures
certain
of-
things are gonna go now, we're gonna whittle down on other things in the next 30, 60, 90 days. Is that
And
what
we
you're
need to
telling me?
place, we need to place an advertisement
No, not on municipal bid, we don't have to replace
We
it.
don't have,
If
but I
it's
thought
less
you said we had to advertise with the website.
You advertise with the website,
Yes,
that's correct.
that's
So
what
it's in the resolution, you'll authorize advertisement.
That's where, yeah, we have to
Right, so
advertise
only has to
it
go on
one
the
day.
website.
Oh, that might help.
The borough
Wait,
website.
time out. Can we advertise we're gonna use municipal bid all year round? Then anytime we have surplus equipment, it'll be on
No,
municipal
it'll
bid?
be from the Borough Hall, just this
Well,
sale from the Borough Hall.
Joan.
Why can't it be any borough asset?
What if we word the resolution as for calendar year 2025, any surplus equipment will be advertised on will be put up on municipal bid at this website.
That's what Exeter does.
I think you can do it, I think
Yeah.
that's it.
That's what I want.
Yeah.
Amanda, what's our next resolution number?
9/11.
Okay,
I'm fitting.
and I'll make a motion to adopt resolution 911-20.
Try amending the agenda first.
Oh.
This is not an emergency to amend the agenda, so.
No, wait a second, we're on an item to authorize the sale of Old Borough Hall
That's a
contents.
motion,
So,
we need a resolution.
Well, I would say.
but in that motion,
Still
we have to
make a
do a
motion
resolution.
to adopt the resolution.
Yeah, I would say don't amend the agenda, just do
Yeah.
it because it's to authorize the
But
sale, it doesn't say.
The three previous motions were to approve resolution.
Right, but this is broad enough, you can, I think it's broad enough.
Okay,
you can do it.
so to continue, I'm making a motion to approve resolution 911-2025 for the sale of any surplus borough equipment or materials for calendar year 2025 to be put on municipal bid and advertised same.
I'll give that a hearty second.
Any clarifications?
If anything, the motion said contents.
Well,
We're gonna say any assets.
It's close, I think it's
I'm
close
just
enough
saying.
that the agenda puts it
Yeah.
on note, anybody on
Yeah.
notice.
Sir, second.
I did.
Motion
It was
was
a
moved and
hard
seconded to adopt a resolution for sale of borough surplus assets. All those in favor, please signify by saying aye.
No.
Aye. All opposed? Motion passes.
It's easier to buy this building than
Yeah.
I'm gonna point out. We bought a whole building and built a building and it was easy.
Right.
This is government at its best. Sir, motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Motion been moved, second. All those in favor, please signify by saying aye.